Hi, I'm Congressman Jim Renacci. I'd like to speak with you today about overregulation, job creation, and how we can get our economy moving in the right direction again. At the same time Congress was considering the massive health care legislation, it passed another huge and harmful bill in a failed attempt to address the causes of the 2007 financial meltdown. While it is clear that some reforms to the financial system were needed, this 2,000-page Dodd-Frank bill was rushed through Congress and was packed with toxic regulations that are crippling our economic recovery. Among the damaging provisions is the amendment attached by Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois, which prohibits the free market from determining banking fees and instead mandates government price fixing. Many in Congress ignored countless warnings that this would result in higher costs for consumers, and now millions of hardworking Americans are paying the price. As I and many of my colleagues predicted, the costs of the Durbin Amendment are not being absorbed by banks and are instead being passed directly to consumers in the form of fees they are now charging for debit cards. What is worse, this regulation hits lower-income individuals and families harder because they cannot afford to maintain deposits high enough to avoid the fees. This is what happens when the heavy hand of the federal government begins picking winners and losers instead of letting the free market work its will. We cannot regulate our way back to prosperity. The more Washington tries, the longer the current economic downturn will last and the more American families will suffer. That is why I voted this week for the two bills that would help peel back the web of regulations that are hampering businesses across the country. The EPA Regulatory Relief Act and the Cement Sector Regulatory Relief Act would give companies more time to comply with federal mandates. The stream of job-crushing regulations that have come out of Washington in recent years must be stopped before a recovery can start. The next question is, of course, how do we create jobs? The answer is through private sector growth. That can only happen if we get Washington out of the way and remove the uncertainty that has plagued our economy for the last several years. That uncertainty is the direct result of the massive increase in federal spending and explosion of expensive, hard-to-implement federal regulations. Job creation will also take innovative thinking, both in the business community and in government. That is why I recently introduced the Employ Act. The concept of the bill is simple. Offer employees a portion of the unemployment insurance the federal government is already paying individuals in exchange for training prospective employees with an aim to hire them full-time. The employer must agree to pay their new employee at least 110% of what they would receive on unemployment and at least minimum wage. But keep in mind that they get these employees at a fraction of what they would normally cost the company in salary. The Employ Act gives businesses an incentive to hire those seeking work by reducing the overhead cost of employment. At the same time, it affords workers an opportunity to earn more money via new employment than they receive collecting unemployment benefits. In addition, the program allows the government to spend less money on direct disbursements given to businesses than it would on an individual unemployment benefits. It also generates new revenue from growth in the size of the payroll tax and individual income tax pool. This all occurs at no additional expense to the taxpayers. This is the type of outside-the-box thinking we need in our nation's capital, and I assure you I will continue to put forth innovative ideas like this as the 16th District Representative of Washington. I look forward to updating you on the Employ Act soon.